So this day did not get started out as I would have hoped. It kind of all started last night, actually. Running around like a crazy person trying to get ready for today, I realized that there was some water trickling out from underneath the fridge. Now, anybody who's a homeowner will be very familiar with that sinking feeling of, what in holy hell am I about to get myself into? And when I moved the fridge away, it wasn't a little bit of water. It was a lot of water. Turns out there was a tear in the plastic tubing, the water line that goes into the fridge, because we have one of those fridges where you can get water from the outside and it makes ice and all that stuff, which is, lovely when it works. All of a sudden last night I was trying to find the water shutoff valve for that portion, and I went into the basement and found, of course, it had been leaking through the wood joists underneath, the whole mess. But I turned off the water last night. So this morning I'm up at the crack of dawn because today I'm driving an hour and 15 minutes doing a speech, and then driving an hour from there directly to an airport, hopping on a plane, flying to St. Louis to give a speech tomorrow at a conference. So it's a very, very, very busy 2 days. So I've been really frantically prepping for getting back on the road, traveling, flying, getting into that habit, and also prepping 2 completely different speeches that, wow, I am in complete darkness over there, aren't I? Hey, camera. How you doing? So I'm all over the place. I was like already in my dress clothes. I came downstairs. I'm trying to find a little bit of food and some coffee and finish packing and get everything ready. And I'm already stressed as it is. And I go to check the water thing to make sure, that the leaking basically, because I shut the water off, that it's basically done. But no, it's not done. Because the towel I put there last night is completely soaked all the way through. I mean, it's all the way through. So I had to replace the towel, figure out why it was still leaking and getting worse, and just, what a mess. There's so much traffic. I usually spend the drive to an event working on my intro. I just do my 5-minute intro over and over and over and over again. I really believe that the first thing you say sets the tone for the entire presentation. If I nail the intro, if I do that opening 5 minutes and I just get it right, then I feel confident that I can do the entire rest of the presentation. An unreasonable amount of weight that I put on the intro, but I think it's warranted. Amazingly, I completely forgot to hit record on my camera, which was the first time I was going to test it out. Now, it ended up being really, really bad lighting on stage, dim, it just wasn't lit like a theater, so it wouldn't have come out well anyway. At this point, I will catch up with you at the airport once I'm, through security. That was a big hill. Has rolled up. You can't tell from here. First flight of the day is done. We got a layover here, heading on into St. Louis pretty soon. In about half an hour. I was about to check my watch, but it's not on. You're past the freckle. Every year when I get back into the travel schedule for the year, it takes a bigger and bigger toll on me emotionally. Like the energy level required to get on the road and stay on the road, and plus you got to keep all that stuff that you're worried about back at home, like my fridge is leaking and all that jazz. You got to put that somewhere else. You got to put that into a different bucket, a different corner of your mind, so you can stay present. I made it. So I go to check in. They said last name. I said Miller. They and I'm like, oh God, is there any chance you made the reservation under a different name? Battery died. I've been running a little test on this new camera. I only have one battery, the one it came with, and I just wanted to see if I could go a whole day of vlogging on that one battery. Just snuck in some rehearsal as per usual. I was mostly rehearsing the intro for tomorrow. Okay, all dressed for the day, gonna head down, grab some breakfast, then head into the conference somewhere with... My watch is on East Coast time. Okay, I have to tell you this story. I'm so excited to tell you that I didn't even bother setting up the camera. So... So I go down to breakfast. I'm trying to eat healthier lately, and not that I'm not skinny. I'm just not in shape, and I'm not in good health. Skinny does not mean the same thing. I know sometimes when I'm like, I'm trying to be healthier, people are like, what are you talking about? You're skinny. I go down to breakfast, and they got the continental breakfast there, or you could sit down and order like in the restaurant. And I didn't want to do the continental because it's always just a waste of money. Like, it's just a bunch of crap. So I wanted to sit down and get a real meal, but I'm looking at the menu and everything's like heavy, like eggs, cheese, and all this stuff, syrup, as you would expect from a breakfast menu in America. And I'm like, so I'm staring at the menu, and I decided I just wanted to order. They had a yogurt parfait on the menu, and so I ordered that with some side fruit. It said fresh fruit, seasonal fruit. The guy brings me 5 minutes later, I'm going to put it on the screen right now, he brings me just all this stuff from the continental breakfast. He just went over to the continental cart, took a bunch of the yogurts, like just, branded yogurt, put it on a tray with a bunch of fruit, and then grabbed a bunch of other fruit for the side fruit, and brought me all that from the he goes, something wrong? And I'm like, I ordered, I thought I was getting a yogurt parfait. He goes, yeah. I said, this is just all this, you just grabbed all the stuff from the continental breakfast. He goes, well, that's all the yogurt we have. That's what we have. And I said, oh, okay. Since it was, on the menu as a yogurt parfait, I thought you were going to, bring me a yogurt parfait. We never mix it for people. Okay. So I'm just staring at it, and we're in silence, and he's still hovering over me, and he finally goes, do you want a bowl? I don't know what he thought my plan was. Like, take a scoop of yogurt and then dump a bunch of granola in and then shove my face in the fruit, and then he just kept checking on me like every 2 minutes. Hey, bud, how you doing? Hey, bud. He kept calling me bud. He's like 20. He's like 19, 20 years old. He kept calling me bud. Hey, bud, how you doing? I'm like, dude, respect your elders. Now I gotta get ready for the conference. That put me in a good mood, though. I got a whole blog post out of it, probably a whole video, too. In like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you're going to see that story as the Thursday Thoughts episode. So you'll all give it a thumbs up when you see it.
So by adjusting my tone, my demeanor, even my language, I can bridge the gap and help someone feel understood simply as a result of asking meaningful and relevant questions. Something that Mark did earlier today, you put something up on the screen. For the life of me, I will have no idea what question you were asking. I couldn't even understand the question, let alone the answer. The question was something, 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 and then you had a multiple choice, and everyone was going to vote. And all the answers were numbers. They were all numbers and letters forever, right? Okay, so it was just like, to me, it was like a sci-fi language. I'm the only person that, right? So I see that. Now, here's what happened. This is beautiful. You could never have made my point better for me. So you put that up there. I went like this. Nobody else blinked at all. Everybody was just like, yeah, this is fine. And then before you asked the question, you went, well, obviously it's not 3519, and everybody laughed. I mean, the whole room laughed. I have no idea why. But it doesn't matter that I don't know why, because I wasn't the audience for that joke. Everybody in this room has a shared perspective. There is something, now a lot of different perspectives in this room, but there is something all of you in that moment, in all your lives and all your different perspectives had in common, which was the ability to understand why that was funny. That's a huge amount of things that you had to have been able to go through in your head and coordinate with each other. When it comes to taking perspective of other people, asking meaningful and relevant questions is the fastest way you, sitting with a grower, sitting with a colleague, sitting with your boss, are going to be able to figure out where are they coming from? What is their perspective on life in relation to the situation and the conversation we're having right now? And what is there that we have in common within which we can create something extraordinary?
Gotta bring a pack of cards with me to dinner, because you know I'm gonna get asked to do a magic trick at some point, so. That was a lot of food, and it was also a lot of fun. I've mentioned this many, many times before on the vlog, but I always take a client up on the opportunity to go spend the evening with them after I'm done. Technically, I don't have to. I could just show up and do my speech, but it's always in business and in life in general. It's always worthwhile to spend any time you can making a deeper connection with everyone. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and always remember that our world is a shared experience. Have a great night.